Hello everybody, bienvenidos and welcome. Ok, hoy lo vamos a tener bilingüe el programa del día de hoy. Bienvenidos a Cultivarte. ¿Cómo estamos el día de hoy, Joe?
Doing well, thank you very much. I want to welcome everyone that's watching over on Facebook Live, everyone watching us over YouTube. We have a great interview today in our show Cultivarte. We've got Mathew Maciel with us here.
Doing?
Check this out. The Throne is his latest release, his latest project. And so he's here to talk to us about it. Right, Gaby? It's all yours.
Well, about it and a bunch of, like stuff, because I think this man, like it's like the Renaissance man, like, and he can actually do more. He's just like, still like, no, I'm okay with my music. He was talking to us about his music, okay, and his name is Mathew Maciel. Hello, Mathew, how are you today?
Doing well. I appreciate you guys having me.
And we appreciate that you take your time, to come and visit us. You know that this is not super formal and no. This is, like a chat and friends. We're just missing the beers, okay? Because they don't let us, bring it. Also, I don't drink beer. I only drink tequila, like a good Mexican. Okay, let us know, like where do you come from? Okay, are you here from the Valley?
Yeah, so my family's originally from Illinois. I have family in Houston as well, but I moved here at a young age to the Rio Grande Valley, and right now I live in Alamo, but I grew up in the McAllen area and stuff, so. Yep.
And you're still, like singing and...
I am. So I know you mentioned my EP, The Throne, so that was actually released a couple years ago, but it's the only EP I have. So I don't have another EP, but I have a couple singles I've released since then. So yeah, this is the actual one I can give you in a case, right? So, but I have The Throne, and I have my latest single. It's called One For Me. It was released the first weekend of July on Apple Music and Spotify, and so yeah, just just trying to put my music out there.
Which one was the one that I just hear in
One For Me. That's my latest single, yeah. But this one, a lot of people enjoyed this one too. I have a song called Move on my EP called The Throne, and Move, it was featuring Archie, which is a local rapper, and that one actually did pretty well on Apple Music and Spotify, and it's requested a lot by some of my fans.
Yeah, I was going to ask, we can find you in Spotify, right? Also, like some of your music, we can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
For the old people like me that don't have a Spotify and don't trust the government because she thinks that the government is watching her through Spotify.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube and Facebook at Mathew Maciel Music. That's Mathew with one T. Instagram, it's Mathew_Maciel. And then obviously, Apple Music and Spotify as well.
I'm going to put it over here.
Yeah.
So everybody, can see the artwork and stuff like that. But my biggest question here, because, I was talking to you outside and I'm like, what kind of music do you play? And you were saying like, well, my influence, is Maroon 5. Then I started listening to your music. And it's very, like Adam Levine.
A lot of people say that, and I think I've just molded myself little by little because a lot of people want to hear that right now. They're one of the biggest bands out there. But definitely growing up, I remember listening to that first album by Maroon 5, Songs About Jane, and that is by far my favorite album. But obviously, Maroon 5 has changed a little bit since then. They've gone more pop route than the rock route. But I definitely miss that old Maroon 5, and that old Maroon 5 and that album was definitely a big influence on me growing up. It came out when I was really, really young. And, my parents had that album, and so listening to that and it just coming out, and, little by little I've been, working on projects, and I've just been told, hey, you sound kind of like Maroon 5 and Adam Levine, and I don't hear it personally, but I can understand where people are coming from, but a lot of people tend to say that. But I guess it's just that influence for me growing up at a young age and listening to them.
It's a style, like also not just, like the tone of the voice, like very sweet, very melodic, but also, like the kind of pop that you're giving us. I really like it. When did you start?
So my first song was it's probably my most famous song. It was in 2016. It was called Thank You For Leaving. I ended up releasing that song, and every time I perform anywhere, people message me, or they've requested when I'm performing, hey, play that song. But that was my first song, and obviously, like many other people, you go through a breakup at some time and you write a song, right? So I did it, and it just happened to be a pretty big hit. And so Thank You For Leaving was released in 2016, And then, since then, I released a few other singles, the EP, and then recently working on another EP that I want to release maybe later this year, sometime early next year.
Thank you for leaving is thank you for leaving like you're bye-bye, or thank
Yeah.
you for leaving because you're alive.
So no, leaving. L-E-A, yeah. So thank you for
Yeah,
leaving,
right.
pretty much saying that, the relationship I was in, it wasn't the relationship I was supposed to be in.
Okay.
And, eventually God opened my eyes to that and worked everything. Everything happens for a reason. And so that's pretty much what the song's about. That, thank you for that person leaving, because at the end of the day, that's not where I was called to be. And everything else worked out, and now I'm here.
So thank you to all my exes, by the way, for leaving me, like penniless and clueless, and but thanks to that, like I met the real one. Saludos, mi amor, Daniel, I love you, beso. Mwah. So tell us, most of the like good artists, they have their breakup songs, in Taylor Swift's occasion, it's
Yeah.
more than one. It's basically an album, dedicated to that. Also Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
But right now you're happily married.
Oh, I am. So actually, my latest song, One For Me, is the first song I've actually written about my wife. And so when we got married, a lot of people were like, "Man, you didn't sing a song at your wedding? How come you didn't do that?" And
I'm the one that's getting married.
and that's what I thought. I was like, I don't want to make it be about me. Obviously, I wanted her to feel special on that day. And yeah, I could have sang a song for her, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to take away from her. And I didn't want to make it like, oh, wow, look at that song that you made for her, and you sang it for her, and it's all about me. I just feel like, I wanted her day to shine and her to shine during that. So I didn't want it to make it about me. And, a couple years later, ended up doing that. I didn't show it to her until it was released, and so I kept that pretty much hidden. I didn't really show it to anybody, and then the day of release I showed it to her, and it was on the radio. I just played it like on our car stereo, and she just looked at me and she's like, "Who's this about?" Like, "It's about you." And so that was the first time then she loves it, and I've seen her promote it. I think she's promoted this song, helped me promote it on social media more than any other song that I've had.
Oh yeah, she's your fan number one, as
Yeah.
you're supposed to, right?
Yeah, so One For Me, that's my latest release, yeah.
And it's beautiful. I mean, if you go right now to YouTube, you're gonna find it. How do we put it? Like Mathew
Maciel.
Mathew Maciel,
Yeah.
but with one
One
T.
T,
That's
yeah.
why I couldn't okay, where is it?
Yeah.
Mathew Maciel with one T and with the C, okay? And you go to YouTube, and that's where you're gonna find, the first one that you can see. That is beautiful. I was listening to it, and I'm like, oh, so you probably made her cry.
I wouldn't say that, but maybe I
yeah.
did. But in that time, she was just really shocked that I had just written a song about her, right? She hadn't heard it. But
She
you
was
could.
already wearing the nice dress. Why you didn't sing it? I mean,
Yeah.
for us, the day of the wedding is mostly, about the dress, and look amazing. And for all us dearest friends, die of envy. Okay, so that's mainly, the wedding for the
Yeah.
woman is. So tell me right now, what you were telling me that you're gonna open a concert right now.
So there's a few shows that I have coming up, yeah.
Alright, well,
And
let
so
us know.
I haven't released that information yet. So I guess this would be the first time I do it. I was actually gonna start promoting it tomorrow, so it actually works out perfectly.
Yay!
So yeah, so I have a few shows coming up later this month,
Mhm.
and so there's also a show next month. So I'll be at the Flying Walrus this weekend, and then I'm going to open up for a concert for Latin Grammy nominee Alex Zurdo, and so he's from he's like
From Puerto
Latin
Rico, you say,
yeah,
right?
and he has like reggaeton style music, and I guess with my pop and the beats of my music, it kind of goes that route too a little bit. So I'm not the main opener, but I will be performing with Loredu, who is an artist that I actually have on a track with me that I've released before, and so he's actually the main featured artist who's opening. But he's invited me to perform that song with him, and that's going to be in San Benito on August 20th, and then I'm also going to be at the McAllen Food Park on the 19th of August
August the 19th.
and September 2nd. And so we have a lot going on there.
God, yes.
Yeah, so
Are
there's
you gonna have time, to sleep or something?
there's 4 shows there, and I was also recently invited to sing the national anthem at the Corpus Christi Hooks game, which is the AA
Yeah.
affiliate to the Houston Astros, and so that's going to be August 26th. So this is the first time I've mentioned any of that.
In Corpus Christi, okay? So
Yeah.
you know that this man is going to be from all Texas, from here to, you know, the next month. But after that, you're going to have, you know, like to expand, you know, like your
For sure.
talent, you know, like to the rest of the country and later to the world. Right now, let me tell you, they're listening to you in the next to Radio Garden. They don't pay me anything, but hey, I don't care. I transmit, you know, like they can hear me, you know, like in Monterrey, in Spain, in Canada, and everywhere around the world. They can listen to us thanks to that app, and it's good, you know, like to have, you know, like new talents here in the valley, and also you have your own business.
I do. So on the side, I actually
do your commercial. You're
Yeah.
here at radio, okay? Take care.
Yeah, so on the
Take
side,
advantage.
I have like my own production company, and so I shoot different events. Some of my clients are real estate agents or local businesses and stuff. I've done commercials on television for some of these businesses, and then also doing events like I mentioned. You got your weddings, your quinceañeras, your sweet 16s, and so I shoot, I edit. That's actually what I studied in college, and so my company name is 24/7 Productions because you're always working, right? But it's 7 with the Roman numerals, so it's V11, right? So yeah,
it's pretty cool because like he was. I told him like, where were you in 1990 when I had my quinceañera? Right now, he not just give you like the CD or the DVD and the USB. He will give you actually like your own like YouTube show. Okay.
Yeah, so I post on the YouTube channel and give everybody access to the links because obviously at the end of the day they want to share with other people, friends and family, right? So give it to them a Dropbox link and then I upload it to YouTube and they're able to go back and watch all that right now.
Imagine that's wonderful. If your mom was like not talking terms with the tia, okay, so the tia couldn't assist to the quinceañera. Now the tia can watch it wherever she is, like through the YouTube.
Yeah.
It's amazing. How is this new technology been helping you? To like make your dreams come true.
Yeah, it's definitely come a long way, and I think I've had to just adapt over time because, when I was in college, I was giving out those USBs and those DVDs, but that actually cost money, right? So trying to make that work, but not dish out so much of the profits. So that's why I decided, I'm just gonna stop that and go to the links, and I'm gonna give them a YouTube link, Dropbox link. They're able to share that with anybody and everywhere, so it makes it easier for them and it makes it easier for me. So
yeah, they used to charge you for copy.
I know.
And now like, hey, I can give it to you and like the chauffeur and my ex and the guy that drives the bus in McAllen. He already said that he doesn't want to watch it, but I don't care. I'm gonna leave the link like to him. But it's amazing. So you have and speaking of business, Joe, I have, like a lot of ants in my house. Should I spend my money and going to the witch to give me, like something for the witchcraft that somebody spelled on my house, or should I call you?
Just give us a call. We'll help you out with that. And right now we're seeing a lot of termite problems.
Yeah.
Termites, ants are the biggest complaints right now. And of course roaches, those never go away.
I don't know where they're coming from though. I already checked all my house and I'm pretty sure that is my son's like room where he still have food, like in the room. But like I'm not allowed in that room, so you probably will have a free pass, like if you go. But where can they call you? Because I don't know your phone number by memory.
Just give us a call at 956-789-0702. That's 956-789-0702. Thank you.
All in one, pest control. Remember, they're the best. If they're not, just come and tell Joe that, hey, you have to be the best. And Joe is like, okay, he'll do it for you, okay? So we continue here, okay? And you're telling me that you are not, like ready to go into, like the TV, the movies, but like somebody with your talent, like at least the least that you can do, like for our beautiful community of cinema people that we have here, it will be like a soundtrack.
I mean, I guess I've never been offered that, right? So I guess to me, I'm just like, I don't know if I do it just because I guess it's never been an option for me. But I mean, I'm pretty sure if somebody offered me to be in a film or somebody offered me to be on something big at a big stage like that, I'd probably take that opportunity. I just haven't been offered that yet, right? But that would be cool. I mean, to have your music out there and, at the end of the day, the bigger the song, the more exposure and, that comes from everywhere. It can be on Apple Music, it can be on Spotify, it could also be at, talking about events, weddings, quinceañeras. They can be playing my song there, and yeah, that'd be a cool opportunity. I just never been offered that.
that one, like that I just saw on YouTube. I mean, that should be playing every wedding. It's like super sweet. I
appreciate that.
Yeah, my phone was, like dripping caramel. That's why it broke. It wasn't Joe, like dripping on my phone. It was the caramel of your song, because it was like so sweet, but also, like with a lot of chances, like to dance it. ¿Cómo se dice? Cartoncito de cerveza, like this. Okay. So, a ver, but tell us also. You already told us, like the what is coming, for you in like in the short term. But how do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Man, that's a good question. I just feel like at the end of the day, I don't think if you're either growing or you're regressing, right? And so there was a time where I didn't really put a lot of effort into my music. It was always like secondhand to everything else, and so I put a lot of focus on my production company, and I brought in a lot of money, and I put in a lot of focus into my relationships, whether that be with my wife or with my parents or my siblings or whatever. But at the end of the day, music was always, and I'm an artist. I also have this, but I never really put a lot of effort into it, and I still expected those results. And then it wasn't until recently where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus and go all in on this thing. And those opportunities started coming with the shows and the invites to the bigger show in San Benito that I mentioned earlier, and just things like that. And I've come to notice that you got to put that effort into it too. So as an artist, I just want to grow like that and just continue to try to master the craft. I don't think I'll ever be perfect at it, but I definitely have room for growth. And so I want to perfect that, and hopefully just open up those opportunities. And if I'm able to help one person or two people with my music, so be it. I think God offered me my voice and this talent for a reason, and it's to glorify Him and to help the people around me. And so I want to do that in every aspect of my music and with everything that I got. And there's been times that I've actually performed and I've had people come up to me afterwards like, hey, especially with that song, like, thank you for leaving.
Yeah.
I had somebody come up to me like, hey, this really, helped me get through this breakup, or, it made me realize that there's, greener grass on the other side. And
I was listening to this and drinking tequila. Thank you, man. Now I have a hangover.
Yeah, so I just definitely want to inspire people, right?
And music. What is what is music for?
Yeah.
Basically, I cannot. I need some sort of like music going on, or at least like the TV going on every time that I'm writing.
Yeah.
But for everybody, we need music for everything. To like pump you up, or to make you more depressed. And you say that your biggest influence it would be Maroon 5. Besides Maroon 5, which other let's say vocal singer would be like the one that says like,
vocalist.
I would like to be like him, but except for the drugs.
No, there. I mean, I can't really pinpoint like absolutely this one person, but there are definitely other influences. I think I just tended to say Maroon 5 because a lot of people compare me to them.
You love it.
Yeah, but
you love Adam Levine more than I do.
But
really
there's also like Gavin DeGraw. Gavin DeGraw is a big influence too. I think my voice kind of falls in that realm. Ryan Tedder of let me see, Ryan Tedder. You have Ben Rector, who is a big one as well. If people don't know who that is, a lot of people aren't familiar with his music. He has that #1 song called Brand New that came out a few years back. And so Ben Rector, he's amazing. He's really good too. And so then there's also a couple bands, like there's a Christian band called Need to Breathe. Mm-hmm. And so Need to Breathe is one of my favorite bands of all time. I think, man, they're so talented. I wish I could play like them. And so there's a few vocalists, but definitely, I mean, I don't compare to any of those guys, right? So, yeah.
I would just like to, okay, I would like to, you just have to say, I'm gonna do it. I mean, not to be like, yes, I am super good and stuff like that. No, but you are talented, you know, like, and I think, you know, like, you need to believe more that how talented you
I
are.
appreciate
You
that.
are like super talented, you know,
Yeah.
like, and you can ask Joe. I'm never gonna say, you know, like, hey, you're talented. If you're not, I'm just gonna say like, that was cool. If you ever, you know, like, hear me say something that, yeah, that okay, moving on. That means that it sucks. So
No, I appreciate that, and
I am too transparent. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but yes, I mean, I really like that song, and I'm pretty sure, you know, like, the rest, you know, like, the freedom, throw down, move, and you have here with Archie, right?
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah, and so Archie wanted to make a project a
And with
couple years
Marshall.
back. Yeah, he wanted to make a project. He's like, hey, let's get together and you know let's do something. And I've always liked the way he rapped, so I was like, all right. So I ended
Typical,
up.
hey, let's jam.
Yeah, so I ended up working with him on like 3 of the songs, and then there's also one of the songs on here. It's called Throwdown, and it's featuring Loso. And so Loso is actually a huge name in like the Tampa area in Florida. Tampa.
There's a lot of
yeah.
rappers from there.
He's gone to Miami, he's gone to Tampa, he's gone all over the nation too. But he's been featured on Netflix shows before, and he's a battle rapper. And so he's really, really good. He does that full time. He makes a lot of money on it. So, you know, I wish him the best. But I reached out to him, and he definitely was like, hey man, let me see what you got. So I sent him the hook, and I sent him the beat, and you know, I was excited when he responded back and said, hey man, I'm down to do it. So, you know, that was just a blessing in disguise, because I mean that's a good relationship to have, but at the same time it was a great song when he put his vocals on it. So yeah, Loso and Archie both.
What is your favorite instrument to play? I mean, do you play several instruments or one instrument?
So I actually play.
Or you just push play?
No,
and
no,
then
no. I play acoustic guitar, and I've definitely come a long way. I am not by far like I'm not that great at it. I don't consider myself great at it at all.
You see this? You see this? Can you
But
believe it?
I remember my parents gave me a for my birthday when I was in high school. I think it was like junior or senior year of high school. They gave me a guitar. It was a Yamaha. I still have it at home. And I had to learn how to play by myself. I didn't take any lessons, didn't do anything. I just looked up on YouTube. Obviously, we have everything accessible there, right? So looked up on YouTube just how to play this chord, how to do this. And finally was able to strum a little bit. But then I'm like, man, people not only have to play this, but they have to sing at the same time too. How do they do that? So little by little, and
I don't know.
yeah, little by little, I've gotten better and better. And so I guess sometimes at my shows now, I might just do acoustic sets. So some of the shows that I have are just acoustic sets coming up. So I'll be playing acoustic guitar, and then I have one of my other buddies who's actually going to be playing a second acoustic guitar. So one's on lead and one's, you know, on the rhythm. So.
So, Ali, I want to say hello to you, mijita. When are you coming to Mama's show? Okay, you're a disgrace. I'm going to ¿cómo se dice? What is it when they your inheritance? I'm gonna hold your inheritance. I mean, I have no money anyways, but you know, just in case that I you know, like, win the. Did you see, you know, like, the people that won the $2 million, or how much was it?
Oh, it was a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember where it was, but.
They haven't found the guy yet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will. You won't find me either. If I will win that thing, you know, like, they will never find me. Nobody ever. Okay, I will be like, wee. Just, you know, like, to know how it, you know, like, feels, you know, like, to make it rain. So tell me, what is how do they call it more, Maciel? Or they call you Matthew or Matt or?
I've had a lot of nicknames over the years.
Man.
I think one of my friends calls me Matty Ice.
Matty Ice.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It
But,
is.
but yeah, I've been called Maciel. Maciel is probably my favorite one.
Sounds pretty cool, right?
But yeah, it's Mathew Maciel, and then on top of mastering my last name, then you have to remember that my first name only has one T in it, right? So
Yeah.
it makes it difficult
So, like,
all the way around.
Okay, where is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
so you have to, you know, like, actually put it like bigger here, you know, like Mathew Maciel, and then yeah. But tell me, what is your writing process? You know, as a writer, I'm always asking everybody, like, how do you focus, and also how do you get inspired? Because it's not like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna start writing. A ver, muses from the Olympus, come and visit me now. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
I thought it was like that. It's not. So tell me, what is your secret, your writing process?
So I would say about 99% of the time, the process that goes into the music starts in my car. And so I'll be driving around. I spend a lot of times driving by myself.
What are you listening in your car?
I listen to a lot of pop music. You got your Ed Sheerans, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'll listen to Justin Bieber too. So just a lot of pop music and anything that's really catchy. I like stuff with catchy hooks, right? Because it stays in your head at the end of the day. And I know if I can write a catchy hook, I mean, I can write a song that's going to stay in somebody's head and they're going to keep going to it and listening to it over and over again. And so I guess that's why I've gravitated more toward pop music, just because not only is it everywhere right now, it's the number one genre right now in the world, but at the same time, it just gets repetitive in your head that you know people are going to come back for more, right? But when I start writing music, it always starts in the car, listening to music, and sometimes I'll just shut off because I might get a beat in my head, and I might record that. A lot of it is on my phone. I'll record it in the voice memos. I'll just record a ton, and I'll go back to it and just put lyrics to it. But I would say 9 out of 10 times it definitely starts in the car, just driving around and being like, hey, that's kind of a catchy hook right there, and I'll start with the hook first and then put verses to it.
So you start with the music and then the verses.
I would say for the most part, I start with some sort of beat or rhythm, and then I start with the chorus or the hook, right? And then do the verses last, and then just piece it all together.
Yourself.
I don't produce my own music, so I don't.
But you compose your own music.
But I do,
so you're doing your Lennon McCartney.
Yeah, so I guess I do, yeah. And when it comes to some of these beats, some of them I was like, you know what, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something like this, and I'll talk to my producer, or can you add this sound to it? Can you add a little bit of this? But there's also a couple of the guys on this particular EP that they're from Mission, that they created these beats. So some of these beats were actually offered to me. I was like, hey, this would be good for your voice or whatever. But there's been a couple instances where I've sat with my producer and be like, hey, can you add this, or can you take this away and strip it down a little bit? So I guess both sides, right? Yeah. I've been on the production side of things, and I've also just gone into the studio with a beat, just doing the vocals. So I mean, yeah.
Your topics are like pop, right? Like how do you say it? Like personal, very very personal.
My music?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it can relate to, I guess, I have the love song with One For Me, so it can relate to that. I have the breakup song, Thank You For Leaving. But then I also have stuff in between. I have, Move is just about, it's probably one of my songs on here featuring Archie. So Move is just a song about having a good time and, going to the dance floor and just moving your body, right? So just dancing to the rhythm, dance to the beat. So
I have to listen to that.
And then I have Christian themed music as well. So there's a little bit of everything in the style of my music. I wouldn't consider myself per se a Christian artist, but I am definitely an artist who is a Christian, and so I'm definitely a pop artist for sure. And so
it is a big
mixing
part of
both
you.
of those things, yeah.
Okay, to be a Christian, because I can feel that la bruja. I can feel that you put a lot of that spirit, into your music. That you're very proud of this positiveness that you have, and you want to put it in the music, okay? And I know that you're still, I'm not sure, no, man, go, to the stage and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a sin because you're making people
sure.
happy. Actually, it's. I'm gonna tell you. You remember la película Footloose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, que este man estaba. He will say no music because music is sinful, blah 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 blah, and then Kevin Bacon at the end he finally read the Bible in some versicle or something, and hey, here says that they received Jesus with music and dancing. So
yeah,
and he's like, okay, then now everybody can go back and dance. And I'm like, that's the latest plot ever, but okay, I'm gonna buy it just because I'm in elementary school and I'm not writing yet. So it's how do you what is it, the feeling that you have, every time that you are on stage and the response of your audience, they are like, oh.
Yeah, so
because that's how it sounds, you just wanna, cuddle with your osito. Saludos, mi amor, I love you.
No, so I definitely have people come up to me, like I mentioned that one time I performed, and that guy came up to me and was like, hey, this song, Thank You For Leaving, really, help me out through this breakup or whatever. But there's been other times where people just, dude, you sound awesome, and no, like I said, if I could just inspire that one person, or if it's even that one person who wants to perform and they see me perform and then they're able to do it, I mean, I know I've done a good thing, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be about me, but if I can just help one person get out of their comfort zone and say, hey man, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Why not, right? So, because I used to be that person where I was really shy, really timid to like put myself out there, and I think it wasn't until like college that I really decided, I'm just gonna go for it. And so I started doing my music, and I was like, whatever, I don't care what people think. I'm just gonna put it out there, and it is what it is because I have a passion for it. But I know that there's somebody listening to my music. I know for a fact because I've been told that there are people listening to my music, and they listen at home, and they're afraid to put their music out there. They're afraid to come out, and they don't want to, perform, and they're kind of timid. And
what is the advice that you will give to that people that is like, oh, I'm not that good, or maybe maybe when I'm older, or maybe when I have money, because I don't even have money, to produce myself a record. Dude, you don't need money. You have YouTube.
The cliche is always like, just be yourself, right? But, but I mean, there's definitely that. Just be yourself is definitely good advice. But at the end of the day, if you don't put yourself out there, you're never gonna know. And the worst case scenario at the end, the worst case scenario is somebody tells you no. But the best case scenario is somebody tells you yes, and then you're able to live out your dream, right? So I just say put yourself out there, and at the end of the day, the mind is such a powerful thing. I think the mind is one of the most, if not the most powerful thing we can own, and it's your own mind and you psyching yourself out saying I can't do it. And the moment you get past that and you can, tell yourself, hey, anything's possible, and it's true. I mean, the moment that you do that and you step foot into the whatever passion you have, I mean, the sky's the limit at that point. And so I just feel that I know for a fact, because I've been messaged on Instagram, I've been messaged on Facebook, like, I like to sing, but I'm kind of nervous to tell friends, or I like to sing, but my family doesn't even know it. And I just say, put yourself out there, and at the end of the day, you're never going to know unless you try. Yeah.
That is absolutely true. Like even just enjoy the singing. I mean, people heard me before, like in the karaoke, and I don't sing, I bark. You heard me before, okay? But I enjoy it because I'm with friends, and music is beautiful, and also I'm drunk. But besides that, that's the music. What it's really about. It's about a feeling, not just the joy feeling, but also the sadness feeling, also the rush feeling. Every time, for example, if I need to be on time to any place, I just play Motley Crue. I have to go and I'll be there, on time. That's how I make it here. When I'm like, I want to cry, but I don't know how. Okay, R.E.M. So we already know, what kind of chords are gonna make you, cry? What kind of chords are gonna make you fall in love? And what is, the music that you used to listen when you were a kid?
I've been asked this before. So I was a huge boy band guy, and I guess that's why I like pop music, right? I'm not gonna lie.
How old are you?
I am 29. So I grew up in the the 90s, and so it was the pop boy era.
Boys.
Yeah, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, man. Like I was actually a bigger NSYNC fan than I was a Backstreet Boys fan. So it's still good to see Justin Timberlake go out there and do good. But also like Hanson. I don't know if you guys remember
Yes.
right? So I listened to them. I had that album, and so they're still doing music too, right? So like, and I think that like boy band kind of genre, it's kind of coming back. I wouldn't say it's fully back, but there's a lot of 90s things from the way people dress nowadays to music again, styles. It's all coming back. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the boy band era comes back. we saw it just 10 years ago when all these boy bands started coming out of X Factor.
Yeah.
But I was always for some reason a huge boy band guy. I don't know why. And I guess maybe that's why I like pop music so much, but it was definitely an influence. And so yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a Latina. You will go nuts with Menudo, okay? I was, at the beginning of the 80s, and Menudo was the big thing, like in Monterrey. They, fill the stadiums, those kids from Puerto Rico. And years after that, you know, like everybody was like, okay, we're done with boy bands. And then the New Kids on the Block, and I'm like, wow, what are these kids doing? That's awesome. And after that, you know, like I was so used to, you know, like the clean cut of the New Kids on the Block, and then they bring me and sing, and I'm like, these guys are, they don't look decent, man. I mean, que miedo.
So I was listening to an interview not that long. Ago of.
Look at the hair.
I don't know if you're familiar with the rapper, The Game. He's a rapper, and he's done some stuff with like 50 Cent and stuff. But The Game, he has like some hardcore rap, and he said in an interview that he grew up and he liked the Backstreet Boys, but he never told anybody because he didn't want anybody knowing that. So I know there's people out there that won't admit it, that they know that they like boy bands.
that is your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
What is your guilty pleasure, Joe? Do you have a guilty pleasure?
I have plenty, because since, you know, my taste in music is just so crazy that I'll agree to listening to just about anything that's ever come out on the radio.
Well, I have all the VH1 worst songs of the 90s and 2000s. Okay, all those I have, and you know, like in my favorites. Starting for the one that makes me drive every day, I'm Too Sexy. So every time, you know, like that.
Right Said Fred.
Oh yeah, Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy for my cats. I want to say hello to my cats, Chicken and Rukia. Hi, I know that you're watching me, and yes, Mommy's bringing food. And what is it? Right Said Fred, and also Sing with Sebastian. Do you remember that one? Papa, Papa, shut up and sleep with me, cabrón. And it was only punches. It was amazing, you know, like. And what is this other one that I say, like, why am I listening to this? Oh, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Yeah, I'm driving and I'm doing this, you know, like very SNL.
Night at the Roxbury? Yeah.
Dance. I was really into dance back in the early 90s.
Yeah,
dance, house, techno.
It was amazing, because you will go in the middle of the ¿cómo se llama? The pista, the dance floor, and you didn't need, you know, like somebody to dance. You just go in there by yourself, and it's when it started, you know, like all these bubble dances, remember, you know, like at the end you didn't notice that you were dancing with, you know, like some dude, you know, like, hi. In my case with a woman, I had a woman behind me and the other one in front, and then I remember that it wasn't a gay bar, but you know, like it was very fun.
But another, I just wanted to add that another, I guess, guilty pleasure I have is listening to Kelly Clarkson. But I really like her music, and I think she has one of the best vocals out there, if not one of the best, if not the best female vocal artists that there is right now, because I mean her voice is so powerful. So I do listen to her music, and I really, really enjoy listening to her music, and just the way she puts everything together, and seeing, you know, her albums, how they've changed over the years. It's definitely good, and I think she's very diverse in her music too. So that's just another person that not just only is my guilty pleasure, but definitely has been an influence on my music too.
Have you been following her in The Voice? She's a really good coach.
Yes, and it's crazy because she came from American Idol. So like I was a huge I guess that's another thing. I was a huge American Idol fan growing up, and so I know she was the first winner. And I used to watch it every year until, you know, a few years back. But it's just crazy seeing her go from that to coming back on a different game show competition, right? So kind of crazy, but good for her, yeah.
I really like that show, you know, like every time. Have you seen this? There's a show with Jimmy Fallon about, you know, like singing, and he made like an exercise with her and Ariana Grande, and they both, you know, like were singing like divas. And oh my God, the range of Kelly Clarkson, it was like unbelievable. Really, you know, like they start doing, you know, like Alanis Morissette, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and oh my God, I mean, they nailed it. It was beautiful.
No, she's definitely up there, and like I said, if she's not one of the best, she's definitely my favorite for sure. But yeah, Kelly Clarkson's awesome.
Well, for what is your speaking of, you know, like little pleasures that we like to enjoy, because we're about, you know, to have a very, you know, a bad time in inflation, and we're gonna start just dreaming about going to restaurants. So what is your favorite food?
My favorite food
that you're gonna miss when we go poor?
I'm a huge wings guy. So like
with bones or no bones?
With
bones.
So there was a time when I didn't, and I was like going into boneless, right? A lot of boneless, and my buddy made fun of me. He was like, "Do you just like chicken nuggets, you know. So then I thought about it. I was like, man, that's so true. So I started it. I'm a huge. I'm not a big flats guy, but either way, I'm a huge wings guy. And so every restaurant that you can think of, I probably had their wings already. And for some reason, I always go back to Buffalo Wild Wings and their Asian Zing. I'm not a huge Buffalo Wild Wings fan, but the flavor Asian Zing, that has to be like my number one. But I'm a huge wings guy, and anybody would tell you that's gone out to eat with me. I'm always getting wings.
I'm a torta fan. I mean, I want to say hello to the people of Las Tortas. I know that they're from Tampico. I didn't know that they're the same owners of the La Barda. Have you ever been in La Barda de Tampico?
No.
No?
Never been.
They're very, like, super famous, and if you go to Las Tortas over there on 10th Street, I always go and they treat me like a queen. They make your, like, when you order your torta, they start making the bread. It's amazing because your bread is, like, just made, and then they have this torta de la barda, and they have a bunch of, like, whatever they found in the kitchen, they put it inside of the torta. It's gigantic. You make a mess. If you don't make a mess when you're eating, that is worthless. Okay? Just say it.
All right, another free plug. Where do you get tortas here in the McAllen? The best tortas in town?
Oh, those are
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, because, like, I actually have them in speed dial. I'll give you the number.
Maybe they can sponsor the show, please.
Yeah.
You have a big fan. She just sold about 20 tortas right now.
Yeah. No, neta, they're, like, super good. I totally recommend it. And I will never recommend something that I wouldn't eat. I'm not going to say, those places I'm not going to recommend. But, like, I worked before, like, in fast food. So I know where the places I will never go back and eat over there. Hey, but they give me discounts, so. that is pretty good. So, going, like, I'm already, like, somewhere else. We already, talk about the boy bands, right?
Yep.
But how about the... ¿Qué? ¿Ya me olvidó? Ay, ok, bueno, entonces ya nos vamos a despedir.
Yeah, no, that's that last question. That last question.
Okay,
yes.
then the last question.
We have time for one more question there.
One more question, then it's going to be the important one, okay? How did you get inspired, like, for this album? Because I see, like, a lot of, like, different... Look. And one of them, like, is the throne. The other one is freedom, throw down, move. So it's like one more dance than the other. So they're different.
So how do I get inspired?
Yeah.
Man,
don't tell me again. I was in the car because then I'm gonna be like,
no,
did you drive all the way to Illinois? Okay.
No, when at the end of the day, I just envision myself doing what the big name artists do. So at the end of the day, I know that whatever they're doing, whether it's in marketing, and I follow a bunch of people's social media accounts on purpose, not because I like them, that too, but I look, how often do they post? What do they post about? What are their hashtags? What are this? What is that? What are they taking pictures of? What are they doing this? Because at the end of the day, whatever marketing they're doing, it's working. And so I want those same results. So I got to do what they're doing to get what they're getting, right? So I know that if I do that, it might not be to that, millions of dollars aspects like some of these guys are doing. But right now, on the smaller aspect, if I can little by little and, book these shows and get these gigs and inspire these people here locally, I know eventually, greater things will come. So it's just what inspires me, I guess, at the end of the day, is just seeing how successful some of these artists have become. That I listen to, and I know that if they can do it, I can do it. Anything's possible.
And you heard him, like, just be yourself. Okay, if you don't want to take a shower, don't take a shower. It's not that necessary. I mean, besides, we need to save water because, like, look at Monterrey. But thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you for being here. Thank you for my amazing t-shirt. Look at this. I mean, if you're listening to us, I'm sorry for you guys, but you cannot see my amazing t-shirt. That it looks amazing with my pants. But, Elsa can tell me because she is, like, great in this area of the fashion. But thank you so much for, like, being with us today, like, for giving us a little bit of your time. And, man, dream big. I mean, don't say, like, well, maybe, like, a little bit not like them. No, better than them. Why not? If God gave you a talent, show it.
For sure. And if you guys want to listen to my music, you guys can check me out under Mathew Maciel, which is on Spotify and Apple Music.
Where can we follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, it's Matthew with one T, right? Matthew _Maciel. And then on Facebook and YouTube as Mathew Maciel Music. I also have my website, MathewMacielMusic.com. And so there's information there. My music is there too. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook if you guys want, some shirts. I just released new t-shirts with my logo on there. I have the pink ones in women's sizes, and then I have the gray ones in the men's sizes. I also have a couple CDs left of The Throne, and like I said, I'll be posting my shows on social media pretty soon. Actually tomorrow I'll be posting all the dates, so just follow me on that for more information.
All right, and also, like once that you're over with your, like tour in the next month, we will probably have you, like back, like that, so you can let us know how it was, okay? And do you know that we're gonna have, like very soon Manny show, like here in the area? So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned, like next Thursday for Bitcoin at 5 from 5 to 6, and then us, like Cultivarte from 6 to 7. And stay tuned because here comes, like beautiful Elsa with improving Rio Grande Valley. Thank you. Ay, sí me lo aprendí, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone that joined us over YouTube, Facebook Live, and those of you listening on over 97.7 FM. Matthew, thank you for coming out, making the time to come out. The doors are always open here on 97.7 FM. Until next time, keep listening to 97.7 FM, The City.